Guys, so I'm gonna try to get a whip update video to you sometime this weekend, but for now I am gonna go ahead and try to go through a couple more tags, just the two that I still have available, or not have available, but have the questions for readily. I have seen a couple more tag videos with some tags I don't have the questions for, and I am going to go ahead and grab those to keep them in stock, so to speak. But for now, I'm going to do the stitching style tag and the stash enhancement tag. Alright, so here we go with the stitching style tag. Question 1, what is your favorite fabric? So far of what I've stitched on, my favorite is still 18 count Ada. But I haven't moved on to things like even weaves or linens, and don't see myself ever trying linen. I do see myself going on even weave. I have moved on to 22 count onto Hardinger, and I like it somewhat, but 18 count is still my favorite. Like, not too big, not too small. So I think I definitely see myself moving on to like eventually doing 36 count even weave, but like how I like moved in the Ada kind of slowly, I do have to start somewhere, and so I think I'm gonna start with 28. Number 2, hoop or frame? Neither. I haven't done anything large enough to need a hoop or frame. Everything I stitch is completely in hand. Always has been. Can't say always will be. I do want to start stitching Heaven and Earth, and I think I've heard some other companies that do full coverage designs, and I do want to look into some more full coverage designs. So I probably would go with a frame once I get to that point, though. Number 3, do you use a stand or just hold your frame? Since I just stitch in hand, I obviously just hold it. So yeah. Number 4, what is your favorite time to stitch? I have found that I actually like to stitch like in the evening, kind of like at 10 o'clock at night. For me, I'm kind of a night owl, though that's starting to change since I now work 8:30 to 5. So I am not staying up as late stitching as I used to. But I would say the evening into the night would be my favorite time. Number 5, do you use a printed paper copy of your chart or a digital copy? I use both. I prefer paper copies just because I can kind of highlight what I've already stitched, or have either have like another piece of paper or a ruler or something kind of helping me keep track of where I've been, or things like that. But I do have digital stitch patterns. They have stitched from digital patterns right now. I'm actually doing a stitch along right now, a mystery sampler stitch along that I will show you this weekend in my whip update. Started that one Monday, and there's really no point to printing out this particular chart since it comes in blocks of 20 by 60. So like, there's really no point. So that one I'm doing completely digital, but I prefer printing my charts out. Number 6, are you a floss licker? Am I ever? I can't get the thing through the needle um, without licking it. I've used needle threaders. I like needle threaders for some situations, particularly when I'm working with variegated floss or working with uneven strand count, because then they have the little tail that constantly has to be rethreaded. But typically, I'm a floss licker. Number 7, do you hoard or buy supplies as needed? I hoard. I well, right now I'm not doing much anything because I am relying on my mom's floss stash because I'm missing about 300 colors of DMC, and that's just the cotton. So yeah, but now that I'm working and making my money, I definitely hoard. I can see myself buying, um, buying flosses just to say I have them, just to have them in my collection, just to have them available. I could see myself buying beads just to say, okay, I have them. And oh boy, do I have a pattern hoard, which is 100% free patterns. 100% free. So, yeah, I'm definitely a hoarder. Number 8, what is your favorite floss? Now, I've only stitched with DMC cotton, so I really don't have an answer for that. I want to try other flosses. I want to actually try to get eventually far in the future have the full collection of Anchor, full collection of Sullivan's. Wouldn't mind as much of the JMP coats as I can. And I will even look into owning generic brands. I'm not picky. So, but since all I've stitched with yet, as of yet, is DMC. Number 9, are you a serial starter or do you have a whip at a time? I was a one whip at a time person until I found Flosstube. Now I'm a serial starter. I have shiny syndrome. And with crust, I was actually able to kind of fight it, but not since joining Flosstube and seeing you guys have 4, 5, 20. In the case of the Stash Queen, 57. Could never get decided the Stash Queen. I think I'm by the end of this week I will have 7, so I can have a full rotation, one for every day of the week. That will be my limit. Promise you, 7 will be my limit. Number 10, do you have more FFOs or UFOs? I would definitely have to say UFOs. Only because I only have one FFO. Now, I only have 2 UFOs. But 2 is still more than 1. Number 11, do you watch TV while stitching? Not when I'm stitching by myself. When I'm stitching with my mom, she will have the TV going. When I'm stitching by myself, it's either music, Flosstube, or nothing. So, yes and no. Number 12, do you mostly stitch alone or do you ever get together with someone to stitch? I do a little of both. I guess I kind of mostly stitch alone, but my mom's a stitcher, and since I'm living with her right now, we stitch together all the time. My sister's a stitcher. She has gotten together. She has come over. We've all 3 of us have sat and stitched together. So I do a little of both for that one too. Number 13, do you like to experiment and alter things with your charts, or do you stitch them as written? I mostly stitch them as written, but I will experiment and alter some things. And another one of my whips that I'll put in my video this weekend, it was actually charted to be one solid color. Oh, so Sorry, I can't stop yawning. It was charted to be one color. I think it was like 30. That like really, really, really dark brown that's like almost black. That one I can't remember. I think it's in the 3700s of DMC. But I'm like going, I don't want, ugh. It's also charted 14 karat linen. That's neither here nor there. But I'm like going, I don't want to stitch this all one color. So I kind of look, okay, this part's gonna be. I honestly looked at the pattern and substituted all the colors out myself, and so it's multicolored. I've also done silhouette patterns in variegated flosses, so I can have a little, like I'll do like little motifs, and they'd be charted for like all like 310, and I'll do each individual one in a variegated. So yeah, I experiment somewhat, but for the most part, I'll stitch it as written. Number 14, do you bobbinate floss or not? I bobbinate. That's how I was taught. That's what I know. My mom is actually considering switching to the DMC stitch bow system. I don't see myself doing that just because I plan. She's got the full range of DMC cotton. She's good. She's fine. She doesn't like branch. She's happy with just DMC cotton. Me, I want DMC cotton. I want DMC color variations. I want DMC satins. I want DMC light effects. I want anchor. I want hand dyed. I would have to bobbinate. So I'm gonna stick with bobbins. 15. Do you start a project in the middle of your fabric or at the corner? I was taught to start in the middle, but I rarely start in the middle anymore. I tend to get patterns that have a border around them, or they're like blocks. So it makes more sense for me to start in the corner. I guess I would start in the middle if it makes more sense, because I know I have some patterns in my stash that it would be stupid for me to start in the corner. But most of what I've been doing lately has had a border or has like been like so close to the corner that okay, let's do it in the corner. So as of late, I've been starting in the corner. Number 16, do you have a whip rotation? I will starting Sunday. And I will show you what that rotation will be this weekend. I'll probably record a video on Saturday and post it on Sunday, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But starting this coming week, the week of the 9th of August, I will have a whip rotation. Number 17, did you use a timekeeper to keep track of how long it takes you to complete a project? Does anybody? I don't think I've seen anybody do this tag and say yes. How would you even? I don't know. Number 18, do you use the parking technique? I have yet to start a full coverage pattern that would require me to use the parking technique, but I do plan on using it for my full coverage patterns. Nothing I've used is full coverage so far. That and the way I thread my needle, it's kind of I have to redo my needle threading. So yeah, before I start the parking technique, but I do want to use it. Number 19, do you keep your orts? Yes, I do. I don't have a jar for them yet. I'm keeping them in a bag, but I do keep them. Number 20, do you like to have a straight snack or drink while stitching? I like to have a snack or drink around me when I do anything, almost to a fault. So yes, and I have to be super, 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 super careful so I don't get it on um my stuff. So that was the stitching style tag. Be right back. I have one thing I need to grab, and then I will go ahead and do or I think there are a few things, and then I will go ahead and do the stash enhancement tag. Be right back. All right, and I'm back here to grab a couple things. I totally forgot that this kind of requires you to show stuff, so I had to grab that. So the stash enhancement tag. Number one, what is your favorite pattern in your stash that you haven't started yet? What has kept you from starting it? Whew. Think I would have to say there's a couple. There's the pooping unicorn from Daily Cross Stitch. Yes. And honestly, the only reason I haven't started that one is I just got it, and I am not about to. I have a plan for what whips I'm gonna have going as of right now. Don't want to. Sorry, I don't want to have too many whips. Like that's was 7 my limit, and I have something else that's kind of ahead of it in line, so that's why I haven't started that one yet. And then I guess the other one I have in my stash that my other favorite is one that I've actually tried it myself. It's a picture that I took and then charted out as a cross stitch pattern. And honestly, the only reason I haven't started that one yet is because I want it fully kitted up before I start, so I don't ever have to leave it like because I have to go buy floss or something. And just I start working, I haven't got my first check yet, so I think that's honestly the fact that I haven't kitted it yet. So those would be it. Number two, what is your favorite non-pattern item in your stash? I would have to say this is a 6-pack kind of thing of beads that we picked up at the dollar store. And it was kind of oh my god, that is the coolest thing ever. Don't pass this up. And it's got these two here, these two here. Really can't do anything with. This one is too big. These would be things about size 6, it doesn't say, and they're just the wrong shape. But these four right here, you could totally use to be a project. And in fact, I can't remember which one I'm using, but I'm using one of these for the beading on a piece I'm doing next month. I think I mentioned in my last video I joined Stitch Mania, and I've been doing their ABC Stitch Along, and then next month they're doing a specialty Stitch Along. And the piece that I have actually decided I'm going to be doing, because it's going to be easy, it's a combination cross stitch and black work piece. That one has a little bit of beading on it, and so I'm recharting it with colors so I can kind of have the beads match this. So there we go. Number 3, what do you have the most of in your stash? Patterns, floss, fabric, or other? Patterns, because since I've been mostly collecting free ones, I can go download 20 patterns in a day, and no big deal, because it didn't cost me a dime. So definitely patterns. Besides your LNS and the big box craft shops, where is your favorite place to buy stitching supplies? I actually haven't bought stitching supplies from anywhere other than a big box craft shop, but I definitely plan to make quite a few purchases from 123 Stitch. I know that's the answer everybody gives. Everyone says 123 Stitch, but it really is the best place. It is like an LNS and a half. Um, so 123 Stitch for sure. Name one item you have purchased that was not meant for cross stitch, but that you meant for cross that you have repurposed for your craft. This is question number 4. I've kind of accidentally flashed this one a couple times in this video. That would be this. This is clear or invisible. It's literally invisible. Thread that's actually meant for quilting. And I have purchased it to use it as a beading thread. Because I kind of like how everyone on Flosstube does it that way. It's not how my mom beads. My mom actually stitches first. It does a regular full cross and then does the bead over the full cross. But I don't see myself doing that. It just makes everything too bulky. So I think I'm gonna be like a couple people I've seen on Flosstube. I think the lovely Raid did a beading tutorial on hers. Is actually the one I'm kind of copying, where she leaves spaces for the beads, and then uses clear thread or uses invisible thread to do the stitch. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I picked this up. It's not a beading thread, but I'm gonna use it as one. Number 6. Name one item in your stash that you were unable to purchase after seeing someone else with that item. Now, it's not a purchase because it was a free chart, but I totally downloaded Joan Elliott's Stardust Fairy off of DMC's website after seeing Carolina's video about it. I'm not going to stitch it on the recommended fabric like she is, just because I'm stitching on 14 count, but I saw that. I went to DMC's website. As soon as she says, this is a free pattern. Saw it on her site, and I'm like, okay, I had to have it. As well as 15 other patterns. Number 7, if someone asked you what was the one must-have pattern that they had to have in their stash, which pattern would you recommend? See, that's hard to say, because I know, like, I have a more, like, cutesy preference. I kind of just said it's probably too young for me. It's like Daily Cross Stitch and Stitchrovia and who else? I don't know. One pattern, one must-have pattern. I think I would have to say not a particular pattern, but have one silhouette pattern that you can do in many different ways. Like, I've got a couple silhouette patterns, and I can do it to where I can do it, if I want to do it in multiple colors instead of just one, I can. If I want to do it with variegated floss, I can. If I want to just solid, I can. So I'd say it'd have to be a monochrome or slash silhouette pattern. And number 8. If someone asked you what one designer they had to check out to enhance their stash, who would it be? Loretta Oliver, Stitching the Night Away. Clearly. You need to check out her stuff. It's awesome, and in fact, I'm probably going to go download a couple of her patterns that are on Cyber Stitchers that my phone will not download as soon as I finish recording this video. So yeah, that I would have to say her. So that's it for the stash enhancement tag. So I got those two done. Like I said, I'm gonna be picking up a few more tags. I'm not gonna be uploading another tag video until after I do my whip video. I'm probably gonna post that Sunday. So I will see you guys then. Bye.